You are listening to Plantastic Events podcast, episode number 16. Hey everyone, welcome to Plantastic Events. I'm your host, Noshin Punjani. This is a weekly podcast dedicated to help you plan your events with ease. Be sure to subscribe at stewjap.com and stay up to date. That's stewjap.com. Plus, you'll receive tons of resources, freebies, guides, and show notes. Thank you for joining, and now let's get into this show. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Noshin Punjani, and today we have a very special guest, Kay Montgomery. She is a former chairperson for the Duluth Fall Festival since its inception. Kay has been with Duluth Fall Festival for over 38 years. The festival is one of the most successful festivals in the Southeast, with around 100,000 people that show up. The festival has also earned many awards for Duluth Fall Festival, including the 2015 Best Large Festival in the Southeast Award by the Southeast Festivals and Events Association. She's also the owner of Parsons Gallery since 2000. I think many people know of that in Georgia, actually. So it's definitely very inspiring, your background, and just getting to know you. I believe we actually met at the Southeast Festival and Events Association as well.
That's correct.
So that has definitely been very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then having the opportunity to get a better idea and learn from your entire team has also been and it's definitely a good opportunity for us overall. So thank you for sharing that with us as well. I wanted to ask you, my first question as always, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I really appreciate you all inviting me here today to share about the Duluth Fall Festival.
We're happy to have you.
Thanks.
It's definitely something that most of our listeners are also based in Atlanta, so they're also curious to know more about the Duluth Fall Festival. Definitely something exciting. Can I ask, what inspired you to start working with Duluth Fall Festival?
Well, I would say that I had just graduated from college, and I had come back to my little town here in Duluth, and had grown up here all my life, and my roots go back generations with the town, so I love Duluth very much. So when I came back and got married and got settled down and into my job and so forth, I was drawn to want to be a part of something that had a lot to do with the town itself.
Yeah.
So some guys came to our church and pulled several of us together. There were about 3 or 4 people that he pulled in from the Optimist Club, actually. Huh. And he said that the Optimist Club wanted to start this festival in Duluth in the spring of the next year. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to know if any of us would be interested in helping with it, since we were, big-time volunteer organizer kind of people. And we said, sure, sounds great. And so they worked hard, and we jumped in with them, and it took so long to get started and get it going that it actually was the fall before it happened. So therefore, Duluth Fall Festival was born. And that was in 1983. And, we didn't really know what we were doing at the time. It was just 4 committees. I think it was arts and crafts, food, entertainment, and, I can't even think of the 4th committee, whatever it was. It was a very small scale. But we had the time of our lives. It was a little cold that year, and we made a ton of money, $300 profit.
Wow.
Which is far from what we do now. But we were inspired. We enjoyed it so much that we decided we wanted to continue it to be an annual event.
And I'm sure the town, everyone in the town probably enjoyed it as well. Yeah. It's definitely exciting. You said came back, so I'm just wondering, were you also in Duluth previously? And how long have you, I guess, even before that, you left Duluth?
No, I just went off to college.
You just went for college, and then you came back. But were you, born and raised in
Yes,
Duluth?
yes.
Oh,
yes.
wow. Okay.
And my great-great-grandfather founded Duluth.
Yeah, I wanted to know that, too.
Yeah, so that goes way back.
Wow. That's Can you share a little bit about that, too, if that's okay?
Yeah, Evan Howell was the first white settler in in the Duluth area, and up to that time, there was only like Cherokee Indians and so forth that lived, along the river. And he came and set up, his farm, and that was in the mid 1800s.
Wow!
And I'm a descendant of his, and
amazing.
My mother, who also works very much with the festival, Catherine Parsons Willis. She
awesome.
is like the historian of Duluth, and so she, knows all the stories about that, and so we are here, and so I will always be here and not leave our town that I love so much.
It's very meaningful, too, in that sense that you were part of this. You grew up here, and that's kind of what led into the whole Duluth Fall Festival piece to it, too. Yeah, that's beautiful. I wanted to also ask, how did Duluth Fall Festival, when did it start? And you mentioned a little bit about how it started, but around the time frame. And just curious, how small the committee was then in comparison to what it is now. And what makes Duluth Fall Festival so unique in comparison to all the other festivals in the area?
Okay, we started in '83, and there were just a very few of us at the beginning, and now the uniqueness of our festival is the fact that we have 400 volunteers.
Wow.
And the volunteer situation is wonderful because all these people, none of us get paid. We're not funded through the city. We all volunteer and work so hard for all of this. And that's, kind of makes it kind of a little community in itself. We all are very interested in friendships and getting to know each other and enjoy the company of each other. So that is unique to me in itself.
How do you mentioned 400 volunteers. Now I'm just curious. It probably takes a lot of effort, right, to manage and train everyone. And if you have new folks each year, how does that work? How do you handle all of that?
Okay, well, we have 40 different committees, 40 to 45. And
wow.
We have our chairman at the top of the group, and then they make sure that all of the committees have great chairmen. And in doing so, every year it kind of passes through, and the chairman train the people that are to do the work, and we have it very, organized.
Yeah, that's amazing. And having the capability of having over 400, right?
Yes.
400 volunteers is very impressive and takes a lot of just time commitment as well. So good to hear that. Can you talk a little bit about what happens during the festival? What are the different types of events that go on, or the different types of activities that you host? I'm just curious to learn a little bit about that.
Okay. We start in February. Excuse me. Okay. We start in February with our meetings, and then they continue all the way through till September. Our festival is September 29th and 30th.
Okay.
And every month we have different activities that lead up to it, and we work very hard on these different things. But in addition to that, there's a lot of social events that go with it.
Ooh.
And I think that's the secret of how we end up getting so many volunteers. We have such a good time together and meet for different activities and parties and events that that kind of adds to the fun of it all. We have what we call the Taste of Duluth, which is 2 weeks before the main festival in September. And it is a beautiful event that's held at the Payne Corley House in downtown Duluth, which is a historic building. And different restaurants come and bring their food, and all of the sponsors are invited to come along with some of the volunteers. And we have a very nice affair with delicious food.
Oh,
so
who doesn't love
wonderful.
that?
I know. And we have different restaurant nights where we will go out to different ones called Festival Night Out.
Yeah.
And we travel to the different restaurants, and everyone pays their own way, but we buy the appetizers, and it's just a good fellowship time, and it also helps the restaurants with their business and getting that all going too. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have cookouts and outdoor party meetings, and it's just a lot of fun to be a part of the volunteer group.
Yeah, and Duluth has, I've been in Georgia for over 27 years now, probably, but and I've seen Duluth change over time, And I know that in the old, like growing up, Duluth had just a few, maybe restaurants, maybe a few things in the area. But now it has grown so much. I mean, Duluth is like one of the places known for their restaurants.
Oh, let me tell you. The difference is just amazing. When I was young, there was the Dutch Mill restaurant, which was a big Dutch mill with a turning wheel.
Yeah.
And then we had the Frosty Bar, which sold, hamburgers and little other things like that. And now we have changed into a restaurant, great destination place. And then the town itself is so beautiful with our gorgeous city hall and the big town green with the fountain, and our festival center is all in the heart of the city, and that has just changed Duluth so much. And that was all built in 2001.
Wow.
And since that time, it's developed, and more restaurants have come in and shops, and Duluth is kind of a happening place now.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's like one of the places to go to. Even when we have folks come into town, we definitely take them to Duluth. And it's very diverse, too, actually.
Yes, it is.
I've noticed that. Going back to Duluth Fall Festival, I'm just curious, what are some of the creative things that you do? And I think you mentioned this, you have a harvest scarecrow mascot. So just wanted to hear a little bit about what you do, and like, is it pumpkins themes, or what kind of themes happen related to fall?
I think you just said it. That's
okay.
Great. Yes, we have Sunshine the Scarecrow, and
Sunshine.
Yes, and she's a volunteer with the festival, and she dresses up and paints herself up so cute and entertains the children, and is in the parade and comes to the different events, and she's a big part of what we do, and a lot of our marketing is directed around her.
Yeah.
The pumpkins and the apples and all things fall are, yes, a big part of our decorating. We bring in mums and pumpkins and gourds and all that to bring it in to decorate. We have a decorating committee that they put corn stalks up on all around town, and hay bales, and they have scarecrows that they are all handmade, and little guys that sit around all around town and kind of add to the uniqueness of that. And we've been doing that for 30 years too. That's a cute little advertising in itself.
Yeah. You said handmade scarecrows, or is it?
They're little stuffed guys. They have jeans stuffed with hay, and then little painted faces with the Fall Festival T-shirts on.
That is too adorable.
Yeah.
Do you create like I'm just curious, because I know other cities have done this, just like a competition style theme to it, or is it like where everybody participates and starts to create, their own version of their scarecrows?
Well, we haven't done that, but, that's a good idea. We
Right?
might look into that.
Hey, I participated.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's kind of cool to see that, and the involvement that you have with folks from the community that get like heavily involved with those type of things, and knowing that you go based on the fall seasonal themes, having the different types of pumpkin related activities. Do you do any like kids activities along with that as well? Or?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We have a section we call Kids Corner, and that is the jumpy houses and the different games section that we have where the kids buy tickets for that. And that's always been a big crowd pleaser. But in addition to that, and I know we'll have it for at least this year, not sure if we'll be able to go on beyond that, but a full carnival with Ferris wheels and merry-go-rounds and all kinds of great games, rides, I mean to say, in the carnival section. But what's going on with Duluth is it's becoming so popular that we're losing our real estate. And because of different restaurants and businesses and our new library, which they plan to locate in the downtown section and should be built in the next few years, because of all that progress, we are losing a lot of our space that we're using for the festival, and the carnival is in jeopardy right now.
Oh, no.
So unless we find somewhere else to place that, that will be something that we'll have to look out for. There's also a lot of homes going in at the end of the Duluth downtown area, single-family homes, townhomes, and even a small boutique hotel is going to be situated somewhere down in the downtown.
Wow.
And when all that happens, it makes it a little more difficult for the festival.
I guess it's growing, and it's growing sometimes you can say too fast. That it's like, okay, we need the space and the the space for the festival by itself too.
Yeah.
But when it starts to grow, it just starts to take over pretty much, right? Yeah.
That's right.
But I mean, I guess there are pros and cons with that too when you think about it.
Yes.
I'm sure it gets difficult. When are you thinking about, because you mentioned the carnival, is that future thinking, just an idea, or is this something that is like fully being implemented or planning to do this?
Well, for this year, we will definitely have it.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
definitely.
So it is a definite. Okay,
Definite.
nice.
Yes.
Nice. That's
and
exciting.
the kids love that.
Yeah.
That runs 4 nights. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow.
Of our festival. And then the actual festival itself is only Saturday, Sunday. September 29th and 30th are the dates for this year.
And then you said Taste of Duluth starts 2 weeks in advance, right?
Yeah, it's about 10 days. And it's actually an invitation-only event.
Oh.
Because it's mostly geared towards our sponsors.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I could see that. Okay. And then that kind of plays in with the Duluth Fall Festival overall.
Yes.
Gotcha. Wow. So this is it's pretty big when you think about it. It's not just 2 days.
Oh,
It
no,
takes a
we've
lot
got
of-
something else I haven't told you about that is really exciting.
Oh, tell me.
Actually, I chair and is one of my favorite things. We have a concert that we book the entertainment for the concert every year, and then it is our gift to the city. This year we're going to have Rupert's Orchestra, which is
nice.
a big cover band for oldies and very popular. They're a 10-piece band. Backed by popular demand. We've had them several times in the past, and they're returning this year. That will be Saturday, September 22nd, starting at 6:30, and we have thousands of people that come for that.
Wow.
Bring your lawn chairs, your blankets, your dinner, and we'll sell alcoholic beverages and all through the tents and all in the restaurants in town, or you can bring your own.
Oh.
But it's a wonderful, wonderful evening and very, very popular.
That's exciting. So going into the entertainment piece that you brought in, the concert, is that a new thing, or have you previously had, you've previously had like entertainments or different types of entertainments?
Well, that a week before,
Yeah.
we've been doing that this will be our 18th year on
18th
that.
year, wow.
Ever since we built the Duluth Fall Festival, which is another story I need to tell you
Please
about.
tell me.
I'll tell you in a moment about all the things we've provided for the city, that being our best one. But the concert itself is a one-night thing that's just devoted to it and only it. But we have a continuous entertainment during the festival that starts right after the opening ceremony on Saturday morning. So that part will start around 11:30 and will go through 6 that night, and then again Sunday during about the same hours. And there's everything from dance groups to rock bands to an Elvis impersonator who comes every year. Yeah, he's wonderful. He's a graduate of Duluth High School too.
Nice.
But he's very popular, and all kinds of musical groups.
Yeah.
And we have 2 stages. Our big stage
Beautiful.
is the Duluth Festival Center, and that's where our bigger bands perform. And then we have a new area at Parsons Alley, which is up near Dreamland Barbecue and the new Good Word and those restaurant areas up on West Lawrenceville Street. And some of our smaller entertainment groups perform there, and they have a great lineup in both stages.
Yeah. And one of the stages is the new one, right? The one that you said that it's gorgeous. Like, we've seen pictures, too. It's absolutely beautiful. It's I guess, when was it built, or?
Are you talking about the Duluth Festival Center?
Yeah, it's new, right?
No, you think it's new.
Oh, my God. It looks like it's brand new.
It's 18 years old.
Really?
But that's the other great thing about the festival that you all have to know. All of the money that we bring in from the festivals, which is quite a bit of money, is all given back to the city of Duluth.
Wow.
Or other areas of the downtown area. And the biggest gift that we've ever given back is the Duluth Festival Center. We paid for that building in complete everything and then donated it to the city.
Wow.
And that was $1.7 million. And that was paid off several years ago. We also bought some land, which is I call it the front lawn of the City Hall, and donated it. A parking lot, monuments, all kinds of landscaping, playground equipment.
Yeah, oh no. It's a fire alarm. Hey guys, I am so sorry. We actually had a fire drill here, so we had to step away. Kay, I am extremely sorry
No problem.
that you had to deal with this. But it was definitely a moment. I don't think I've ever had that happening in between a podcast session. So it's a unique experience. And again, listeners, we're very sorry, but we'll get back into it. And Kay, I think we had stopped on the proceeds and how you work very closely with the city of Duluth, including like the beautification pieces of it. I'll let you start on that. But I think the last thing that you shared was related to the staging area as well.
Okay. So the Duluth Fall Festival funded the Duluth Festival Center, and it was built in 2001, and we paid for that and donated it back to the city, and that was a $1.7 million project.
Wow.
We're really proud of that. That's our biggest thing we've done. In addition to that, we've done a lot of landscape throughout the Duluth area. We've done several monuments and art display pieces that we have paid for. Playground equipment, the Christmas tree that we do for the city has all been donated by the Duluth Fall Festival, and many, many other things. Too much to tell, but close to $3 million has been given back to the city.
Wow, that's incredible. And just knowing about that too, and how you work very closely with them, it's definitely exciting. I think I also wanted to ask you, because I know you mentioned this a little bit briefly before about what makes your festival unique. And I think that you also have a silent auction, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to know a little bit about that, or the road race, or any of those different things.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Of course, of course. The silent auction is held right in front of the City Hall on Main Street on Saturday and Sunday. We have 2 closing times that, the different people coming to the festival can come and make their bids on hundreds of items that are placed there for them to view, and we raise quite a bit of money with our silent auction, and everything that is in there has been donated by the merchants of the area or different businesses in the general area and festival volunteers. But
Wow.
It's a wonderful thing. It's a lot of fun. It's part of the uniqueness of the fun and entertainment, as you would say, for the festival.
Yeah.
And we also have a road race, and it's a 5K race that is part of the qualifying for even the Peachtree Road Race. It starts behind the Festival Center on Sunday morning at 8 a.m., and it winds through the downtown streets of Duluth, and we have awards. It's called the Donut Dash.
Oh, cute.
So we have, some refreshments and all that are really rewarding at the end of the race, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh, I like the Donut Dash. I can work with that.
Yeah.
So I know you mentioned a number of different events and like almost micro events within the Duluth Fall Festival. How long do you have to take to just, I guess, from the beginning, to start, when you have to start planning for the entire festival? How long does that take, and how many people does it require? I mean, you mentioned 400 volunteers, but I want to know more so on the committee end. How is your committee structured, and how long do you have to start planning in advance for all of these different things?
Well, it's a well-oiled machine. It starts in February, and because it's been going so well for so long, people just kind of have their ideas of all the plans that make it work, and everyone kind of does their thing and plans out the volunteer system. And we have a great volunteer system that we work through our website, which, by the way, go to our website, duluthfallfestival.org. Everything is there. But, it all just kind of works out really well with because it's been going so well for so many years.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting, and we'll be sure to be there too.
Good.
And my last question is just the dates again, if that's okay for you to share again
Sure.
with our listeners. And if there's anything else that I've been missing or that you want to talk about, it's your platform.
Well, the dates for this year's Duluth Fall Festival are Saturday, September 29th, Sunday, September 30th. From morning till evening.
Yeah.
And one more thing I didn't mention before, which we're very proud of, is a few years ago we won the Southeastern Award for Southeastern Festivals and Events Association the best festival over $75,000. And we were very proud of that award. We've also won the local magazine awards and the newspaper awards for best festival in the county. So we're very proud of it, and we hope that everyone will put it on their calendars right now.
Yes.
And plan their whole fall around the Duluth Fall Festival, and be sure to come.
And volunteer if you can, and be there. Yeah, for sure. We'll be there too.
Our meetings are the last Thursday of every month at the Duluth Festival Center, and anyone's invited to come, so just show up at 6:30 right there on Hill Street in downtown Duluth.
Nice. Thank you so much, Kay, for everything that you've shared today. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to our listeners. And just hearing how the story started, the inception of the Duluth Fall Festival, and having you on board with the whole story, it's just truly fascinating. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for being here and just sharing the entire thing with our listeners.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, listeners. Although the event industry includes a lot of stressful work and late meetings or late events, just remember that every event you help to bring to life creates memories of a lifetime for many people out there. Did you love this episode of Plantastic Events? We'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on iTunes. Each week we'll give a shout out to the Reviewer of the Week. Also, don't forget, we have resources available at stewjap.com. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll join us next time. Goodbye. Produced by stewjap.com. Music by Justin Mahar.